Man, we really gotta thank Tyler for helping set up this interview, man. Shout out to Tyler, right?
Yeah, that's the boy.
Yeah, how long have you known him?
A couple years now. I think since 2024 now. That's when I've been keeping a good friendship with that man.
Yeah, so it's important to give him a shout out today. He was able to get us here to this day, man. I'm happy to have you on, man. How's life been since your last fight? We're a little over a month removed from it.
Yeah, everything's been going great. Uh, it's been a blessing. I was able to get out of that fight with no injuries, just a couple like sore aches and all that. But I mean, it's all good. I didn't have to get any stitches. In most of my fights, I always got to walk out with at least a couple stitches, and I get pissed about that. But it was good. Not this time, and it's the week after it was cook off here
Yeah.
and it was rodeo season. It just got wrapped up like 2 weeks ago, and I was like, man, like I really need to win so I'm able to go to the cook off and enjoy all 3 days and enjoy myself. And it's going to be even sweeter coming off a win. So I was able to get the dub, walk out of there with a belt, injury free, and then roll into the next weekend, getting my Western fit on and enjoying the cook off, enjoying that good barbecue and free drinks and all that. So it's been pretty good. It was a good weekend, and yeah, man, life's just been great. It's been a blessing.
Well, you mentioned coming off your fight, right? You feel a little sore after a fight, right? No one can blame you. It's a fight. How do you feel after the day after a fight? I mean, how does the body feel? Do you feel it? Do you feel the pain right after the fight, like the physical from the brutality, or does it take a couple days to really feel sore?
Oh no, it was like immediately as soon as I stepped out of the cage, just like I had a in this fight I had a bad habit and I didn't check a lot of the leg kicks that he was throwing at me, and I was just like eating every one. But it was really just trying to prove, like, dude, like your leg kicks ain't shit. I'll eat every one of them. You know what I mean? So it was really that, just seeing how many I can eat. But no, my leg was beat up really
Yeah.
bad. Um, Even before then, my fight in December, I did the same thing. I took a lot of leg kicks, and my leg was real bad after that. And I got into camp immediately. I didn't really take time to recover. My leg was kind of jacked up, but I was still pushing through. And then I actually popped my LCL like 4 weeks away from the 5 weeks away from the fight. And I'm thinking, like, shit, I got a bad leg. I just popped my LCL. I can't really train the way that I want to train. I can't train grappling. I can't train wrestling. I can't train like MMA. Like I just had to really adjust to this training camp, and I just really spent a lot of it like recovering, rehabbing, and doing what I can do as far as like my training goes. And I really was just able to only focus on like my boxing. I couldn't really run, so I had to get on like the what do they call it? The Stairmaster, and
Yeah.
then the assault bike, and that's how I would get my cardio. When I'm doing rounds with my training partners, I'm like telling them, like, hey, please, like, don't kick my lead leg if you can. Like, you can kick me anywhere else, just do not go for this leg. And it kind of like limited them to what they could do. So it kind of like was like fuck. But I mean, I still had to get some training in, you know what I mean? So I kind of like spent this camp like, man, like I didn't prepare for it the best like I would like to. I didn't really get the push that I felt like I should have. Like, I kind of was going into this fight like, what's that saying goes, like, leave no stone unturned. Well, I fucking
Yeah.
left all them bitches turned or face down, didn't flip anyone over. And I was just like, man, like, well, whatever, we're still gonna go through this fight. And the fight went in, and it was like the very first strike that he threw was like an oblique kick to my leg. And I was like, oh man, this is gonna be rough. And just throughout the entirety of the fight, he was just like spamming that oblique kick and then leg kick after leg kick. There was a point where I had him against the fence and I tried to like sweep him with a leg um, with a leg hook, and I felt my knee pop again, and I was just like, dude, like this is bad, but I overcame it, and we did it, and it's like now my leg is finally like I've been like rehabbing and recovering and still training, and now it's like my leg is still a little sore, but um it's finally getting to that point where like I'm able to run. I'm gonna go for a run later. I've been squatting, so I'm like able to get back into like my training regimen, which is good. But yeah, dude, it's crazy like the damage that the body can take. Like when the muscle breaks down, it could like if you don't take care of it properly, like it's the pain is gonna linger and swell up over time, and yeah, lead to like worse injuries. So yeah, it's crazy, but it's doing better now, man.
Why? And I know people would say, "Whoa, he's trying to get into the UFC," but and it's very easy to say that, right? But why take that risk? Because I mean, it's risky. You're at that point in your career where you're trying to get to that goal, and obviously, and you don't want to lose because of an injury. So why risk it?
Yeah, that was the other thing too. It was like, man, like my coaches were also saying like, don't take this fight if you don't feel comfortable because we don't want for something to go, God forbid something happens and then you take the blame on us because we were telling you to take this fight. And I was like, no, look, listen, if I take this fight, it's going to be up to me. And I just wanted to show, like, I had just fought in December, January flew by, February's coming around, and I just wanted to like show the matchmakers of the UFC, like, man, this kid just defended his belt in December. He's back again in February. Like it shows them like, man, this kid is hungry. Like he's about it. Like he's just staying active. He's defending it again. And it's really what that was, just letting them, showing them like, I'm hungry to get in there. Um, if I have to defend again, I'll defend it again. And I did. So yeah, that's really all it was, just showing them that um I want to stay consistent and that I'm hungry.
When you're talking about the mentality, right, that you have, I think I've seen you on your profile. I've watched your fighting career. You always talk about like you write on the mirror, humble, stay humble, be humble on there. Where did that mindset come from you?
Um Really just the way that I was brought up. I was raised to be like modest, humble, and just like those characteristics, and I try to live by them every day. I mean, I'm not perfect, but I at least try my best. And I'm a big believer in Jesus Christ, and I feel like he for sure gave me like the skill sets that I have and all of the abilities that I have. And I consider myself to be a dangerous person, but at the end of the day, I think it's important to know your place and to stay humble. And that's just how I try to live by. So,
Trying to stay true to the path, right?
right, right, right.
Your family. When did this MMA journey start? Was it because they put you in classes or into like martial arts classes, or is it something that you came on to your own?
No, to be honest, like when I was a little kid, I was super hyper and I loved watching like combat movies. Like my favorite actor watching was like Jet Li. Uh and man, I can't believe what's his name. Jet Li and like
Not
John
Bruce
Claude
Lee?
Van Damme. Nah, not really Bruce Lee, but like because those movies were just
Yeah,
like they were a little bit older and it was kind of
yeah.
like harder for me to watch because I was so young. But I would watch movies like Jet Li fighting, and he's a small Asian dude and he's just beating everybody up, like maybe six people at a time. It doesn't matter the size, they're just like huge, and it would get me excited and I'd be bouncing off the walls like pretending like I'm in the movie scene, like just like shadow boxing, and I'm just like a little kid.
Yeah.
And my parents really like saw that I was enjoying that type of stuff, so they enrolled me into like karate. So I started karate when I was like young, and then I got all the way up until I got a black belt, and I kind of stopped when I was 14, and then I did that in Pasadena, and then I moved to Cyprus, and I just didn't really get myself back involved. I just went to school, started playing football, started wrestling, and I was like on the varsity teams with that type of stuff. And so like sports was kind of like involved in my life. I did track and shit like that. And uh once I graduated high school, I was just kind of like I was going to college, but I was also like getting myself back into like watching MMA again, and enjoyed it. And I was like, you know what, like I got some karate, I got some wrestling, like oh, I'm gonna give this a try, you know. And I signed
Yeah.
up to the nearest MMA gym which was at 4 Ounce Fight Club, which Daniel Pineda was still fighting for like legacy at the time. He was still in he was in the UFC, and then he had a couple fights for legacy.
Yeah.
Hurricane Ike, Chico, J Boy, like the fight team was just really popping at the time. So it was a good time for me to get involved and started training with those guys. And I don't know, I spent like 3 years training with them before I made my debut. And then once I made my debut, which was like in 2019, I just was like, all right, well, let me see how far I can take this. And yeah, we got up to the point where I got 3 Fury belts. So I mean, that's pretty cool. I'm 12-2. So right now, this is where I'm at right now. So yeah, that's how it all started, and now this is where I'm at.
Do you ever tell yourself, do you ever have a bad day where you tell yourself, damn, why am I doing this?
Oh, shoot. Uh, I used to,
Okay.
I used to have the mindset of like, why am I even doing this? Like, what is it for? But I've switched my mindset to where like I get to enjoy this, like I get to do this, like, so I don't think like that anymore. Like, for example, like if you have an injury and now you're sidelined and you can't really train, do anything, and you're just feeling like a loser, feeling hopeless, and then you're just thinking to yourself like, man, like I can't believe I felt bad for myself when I took a round off or when I didn't give it my all. Like, man, if I could train right now, I would be getting after it. So I mean, like that's the kind of mindset that I'm in right now. Like I'm healthy, I'm able to grind, so why not? Like why not go out there and like take advantage of every day and get to train and give it my all. You know what I mean? Like that's the mindset that I'm in right now. So I don't think negatively like that anymore.
You've mentioned before that you don't watch the tape on your opponents. You'll ask your coaches, or your coaches will give you notes. What's the story behind that?
Man, I just for some reason like I when I watch tape on somebody, I get kind of
Yeah.
psyched out. I'm like, man, I'm gonna fight that dude. Like, no,
Yeah.
no way. So I'm like, I'd rather just unless like if I'm tuning in on a fight, like I'm watching a Fury event, and there's like, I'm always keeping out to see who's potential opponents,
Yeah.
then that's different. I could say like, oh yeah, I seen that fight. And then I can go based off of what I saw. But I don't really like to look film either, because like I don't want to get too fixated on like, oh, the like, the things, because then I feel like you're gonna be constantly thinking about those things, and then you're gonna be looking for that in the fight. And if they don't even do that, then what was the point of you just wasting your time trying to study that? So I'd rather just ask my coaches, or I'll ask my friends like, hey, take a look over this dude's film. Let me know what you think. Let me know what they're good at, what they're bad at, what I should look out for, or what. And that's really it. As far as my training goes, like I'm gonna train what I'm good at. I'm gonna train for everything. I just want to be, kind of aware of like what to expect. But for the most part, I just go in there and try to figure them out right off rip. I think it's better that way for some reason. But everybody's like, the people at the higher level are always telling me like, bro, well, when you get to the higher level, you're gonna have to start, studying and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, I mean, sure, but it's worked out for me for this much. So why not just stick to what's good and what works for me, at least.
That's fair for yourself. I'm sure there's a lot of people that probably don't go that way. The people people give you crap for that.
Yeah. You know what else people give me crap for that
What's
really
that?
piss people off? Throughout my entire camp, I don't ever check my weight. And I guess like that's like a big thing that
Yeah.
everybody should do. You know, you should always be like on track of like what your weight is, but I don't ever check my weight. The only time I check my weight is when I'm or the day before weigh-ins. That's when I'm like, all right, well, let's see what I'll have to cut today. And then I'll hop on it. And I'm like, all right, well, it's not bad. I mean,
Never?
yeah, never. Besides that, I never check my weight because then I'm gonna just hold myself back from like eating the things that I want to eat. You know what I mean? Well,
Yeah.
which I'm not eating bad,
Yeah.
but it's like I know some people will get like a nutritionist or whatever, and they'll tell them like, okay, you got to eat like 46 grams of this, 53 grams of that, this amount of fats, and this, and that. And I'm like, nah, dude. Like, I'm gonna eat 100 grams of this and 200 grams of that and this amount. And I like to do it like that, you know, as long as I'm eating like organically and everything is whole, nothing processed. I ain't got nothing to worry about. And if I'm putting in the work, I got nothing to worry about. I'd rather just eyeball it. Like if I feel like I look lean enough and I look slim and trim, I'm like, we good. I ain't got nothing to worry about.
Let's talk about, let me shift to this. So we talked about, obviously, for a lot of fighters, the goal is the UFC. You've mentioned this before in previous interviews. The UFC, UFC. You don't care about the money. You care about getting to your goal. Is there a sense of frustration that at your level, 12 and 2, you've done five in a row already, three different Fury belts. Is there a sense of frustration on why you haven't gotten the call?
No, because the call did come. It came earlier this year,
Oh, it did.
or yeah, it came back in September. But like that's why I shot myself in the foot because it did come, and I made the mistake. I told my manager like I'm ready for it. He went out he went out and did his thing for me, got me a fight on 5 days' notice. Unfortunately, on my end, I was overweight. I wasn't gonna be able to make it, and I wasn't gonna take the risk of like showing up, not making weight, and then not getting a contract at all. So I was like, just like shooting myself in the foot because I was like, man, like everything that I've been working for, everything that I've been praying for finally did come, and I just had to let it pass by me because I wasn't in the right fit to accept. And it pissed me off so much that, but that was my mistake. I did that to myself. I can't be mad at anybody else. So now I had to go back to Fury, defend. Now we're 12 and 2. And now we're just kind of like, what's going on? And I told myself I'm not gonna make that same mistake again. So this time around, I'm gonna be ready for whatever comes. Like if it comes, I'll accept it because I'll be ready. I'll be on weight. So I can't be too mad. Everything happens for a reason. It is what it is. So yeah,
Was it heartbreaking?
100%, 100%. I let God down. I let myself down. I prayed so hard for this, and then He rewarded me with it, and I disobeyed Him by not staying ready. So, that was a eye opener for sure, and changed my perspective on everything. That's what I'm saying. Like, if I'm gonna be a professional fighter, then I need to live the lifestyle 365 days a year and hold myself up to that standard. And that's what I've been doing. So hopefully God will reward me with another opportunity, and I'll be able to accept it this time. So
That's a very mature thing though for you to talk about just because I'm sure a lot of people probably still would have taken it and tried to kill themselves to make the weight there. And obviously probably would have damaged them from a health perspective and probably from like an image perspective within the UFC. So I mean that
yeah,
sounds like a mature thing to do, right?
yeah. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I would have loved to try to kill myself to make it, but I mean, in the long run, I'm thinking like travel to go all the way to Paris and try to cut. How am I gonna cut weight? You know, like I'm on the. It's. I don't even know how long of a flight it is, but I wasn't gonna try to. I wasn't gonna embarrass myself by not making it. You know what I mean? I was like,
A 17
third.
16-hour flight. I wasn't there for the
Yes.
Olympics.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. See, I got
So
the call on Sunday, and
yeah.
the fight week was the following Saturday. So I would have had to leave. Like, I don't know how all that would have worked, but I just know that I don't think it would have been doable. As bad as
Yeah.
I would have tried to kill myself, I mean, like, yeah, I just don't think it would have been doable.
Oh, that takes it takes a mature person to do that. And obviously, I think I'm a real big believer in big picture. You got to look at the
Yeah,
big picture. And
yeah,
obviously, there's a lot of consequence, right, to not making weight. I'm sure you know that.
yeah, 100%, 100%.
When it comes to your career though, and when you look at it, is that the UFC? That's the final step for you? Do you feel like you would have accomplished what you set out to do?
Yeah, 100%. Like, I got like, how do I say it? I mean, yeah, man. I want to make my family proud. I want to make myself proud, and I feel like by doing that is by like making it to that level. You know, getting those three letters. Like, I don't know why it means such a big deal to me, but it does. And like, so yeah, I feel like if I'm able to get there, I can like finally feel like Thanos when he's sitting on the throne and he's just like at peace because everything's just balanced and he's just like, ah. That's about to be me when I get that gloves and the fight kit and all that. And I just sit there like, ah, yes, finally, you know. But we'll see, man.
Do you ever think about how long you think you have to get to that level?
Uh, yeah. I mean, I think about it like I'm like, damn, bro. I've been, I don't know. It's been like I've been doing this since 2019. And what is that? How many years?
2019, sub 7 years?
So 7 years, and I'm not in the UFC yet. What's going on? You know, like,
Yeah,
but
about six to
that's
seven. Yeah, I don't want
yeah.
to say 6, 7. Sorry.
And that, no, it's cool. You know, I've been fighting for like 6, 7 years or whatever, and I'm still not in it. But you know, it's all good. You know, everything takes time. It is what it is. Like I said, I can't be too mad about it because the call came. I wasn't ready. Okay, well, this is the price that I got to pay, and I got to keep going and keep going until I see it through. So I'm just thankful to be in a good spot where I'm at least like knocking on the door. You know, it's not like I'm taking the nail and then having to fight back. And you know, it's like no, I'm like, hey, look, like my last three fights have been championship fights. You know what I mean? Like, so it's I feel like I'm on a good track, but you know, we'll just see, man. It's in God's hands, so I'll let Him handle it.
Who's been the biggest influence in your career outside of family?
Uh, mm, I say my teammate Joshua Van for sure. Just seeing how he carries himself, seeing like the things that he's able to do. He motivated me to like start being like active as a fighter, you know, because I started watching him when he had his very first amateur fight. I was there in attendance and he fought that night. And then I seen him again like in 2 weeks. And I was like, what the heck? This little kid just fought like not too long ago. And I just kept seeing him like constantly, like consistently. And then he ended up making his pro debut before I went pro. I did my
Wow.
amateur debut before he did. And then he passed me up in the amateurs. And then here he is like fighting. He's making his pro debut. And I hadn't even gone pro yet. So I was like, what the heck? Like, nah, like I I gotta get like this. I gotta get like this dude. And you know, like so seeing him do those things motivated me to stay active. And so yeah, I say Josh Fan has a good impact in my career for sure.
What was your response when you watched him claim gold and watching a friend, a teammate claim gold?
Man, I was just so like it was just so motivating because I was fighting the week after. So seeing him do that, it was just like like all the hard work, like it paid off. He did his thing. And and I was just so happy because he didn't have to take any damage at all either. He came out, he was healthy, and like it was just like so amazing to watch, seeing my team out there doing their thing. And it just left me in really good spirits because I was like just so motivated. And that led it to be a good week into fight week. And so yeah, it was great.
Do you have a structure of how many fights you want to get for the year of 2026?
um if I'm health if I'm healthy, I want to squeeze in like three more. Like I really don't know what's going on right now
Yeah.
with like, the situations as far as like what I gotta do. Do I gotta defend again? I mean, like I hope not. Like I think that would be crazy. So I really can't imagine like having to do that. But I mean, if those are the things I had to do, then I mean, whatever, I'll do it. But hopefully, bigger things will come in the near future and we can get a fight. And if I'm healthy and I want to make a quick turnaround and just keep fighting, I want to fight as often as I can if I'm healthy. So yeah, squeezing for like two or three more for sure.
Hector, it's been great talking with you today. I want to end the show with this. I always ask a specific question as I'm ending these interviews. You talked about your debut coming in 2019, and that's when you really started that journey, especially when you fought. What would this version of yourself tell that version of yourself?
Oh man, like keep keep going. Like don't think about parties, don't think about having fun. Like just if you're healthy, keep fighting, learn as much as you can. Keep your tail tucked between your legs and head down and soak up as much as you can. And stay learning and just stay grinding and don't stop. Don't stop. Don't weaken and just keep going, man. So yeah, that's what I would tell myself. Staying consistent.
Well, thank you, Hector. I really appreciate your time. It's been great chatting with you. No doubt that we'll see you in the UFC one day. There's no doubt about that. Thank you for taking your time.
Dude, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate you very much. Big shout out to my boy Taylor and Tyler. Sorry. Tyler Little. Appreciate you for helping us getting this get together. I do want to give a shout out to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ and my teams, 4 Ounce Fight Club, Aslan Boxing, my family, and yeah, thank you.